Okay, welcome to episode 7 already of the human body. In this episode we're going to talk about this entire structure. So that would be the forearm, the wrist and the hand, aka the grip. Let's start with the grip. So immediate tip that I would give you is to get more conscious about your grip. And what I mean with that is that you should be focused more on squeezing during heavy strength exercises. And I'm talking about a lot of different exercises. So whether you're doing push, pull, whatever, hand balancing even, getting a very tight grip will help you with getting more performance in. So let's talk about bench press, for example. I would squeeze the absolute living beep. I'm trying not to swear anymore, but I would squeeze like very, very tightly when we're gripping the bar. And this is going to make sure that our entire chain is connected. So very important tip. Also when doing pull-ups, when doing deadlifts, get your grip as tight as possible. Let's quickly mention the deadlift itself. Stop using those straps if you want bigger forearms and a stronger grip. Just get it barehanded. Even if you just do it one time a month, try to get your deadlift up with purely your hands, not with the strap. Get rid of the strap. Just do it like one time a month without strap, or multiple times without straps, like a true deadlift. So again, this grip part we can just do during our training itself. So let's just say we're going to do weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, front lever, planche, squeeze. Another great one to increase your grip strength is learning the one arm hang. So instead of using both arms, we're going to learn how to do it with one arm. We do this by first getting good with two arms. So that will be around 30 seconds. After you can do 30 seconds, what we can do is, for example, is we hang on the bar and we only use our fingertips in the other arm. And once this gets easy, we can just hang on one arm, but we'll have our feet supported on the floor. Slowly get used to this, because hanging on one arm is quite heavy actually if you've never done it before. And especially if you weigh more than 70 kilograms, it will be quite a challenge for your first few times. So try to slowly build it up. Talked about it a bit already, but doing the deadlifts, but with a fat grip. So fat grip are the, wait 1 minute, I mean 1 second because I'm cutting up the video. But using these fat grips will increase the size of the grip itself. So your hand is more open. This causes your fingers to be needing to put in extra pressure, or else it will easily slip away. This causes your forearms to grow, get stronger, fingers, grip and everything. So when we do the deadlifts or rack pulls above the knees, we get in the fat grips, and this will definitely help us to increase our grip strength. So yeah, that's the beauty of grip training. Your entire size gets bigger, so you not only get stronger, but you also literally get bigger. It's a win-win. Now, if you want to get even bigger forearms, what we're going to need to do is train our wrist. So we go from the hand to our wrist, and the wrist is easily trained by this small movement. Two very important movements is the like the hooking of the or cupping, whatever you want to call it, and also the rising. So that will be with the hammer curl, where we keep our wrist, instead of like this, we're going to pull it entirely back. What we do with this, so if we train it like this, this part gets activated, and if we do it like this, this part gets a lot of activation. Now, what we can also do is do it like this. It's a bit harder to do, but especially if we get a like very light weight, we will activate the top part of our forearm. Now you have many different variations. We can do it with dumbbells, we can do it with barbells, we can do it with the fat grip. Small secret tip from me is, if you do exercises with the fat grip and you do your thumb against the other side, so purely from this side, so not like this but like this, this will activate your forearm like crazy, literally, especially if we're going for the entire full range of motion like this. So instead of having the small range of motion like this, we're going to try to put like all the way over there, and this will give crazy activation. Also for arm wrestling, etc. You can see behind me Devin Larrett, one of the GOATs of arm wrestling, crazy forearms. So yeah, that's basically it for strength and size-wise. Get the grip stronger and get in the cupping in all of the angles, and this entire chain will grow. Last thing I wanted to discuss in this video is wrist injuries. So I have got hit twice with this one. I'm not sure how we call it in English. In Dutch we say kneuzing. So it's like we get a sprained wrist. I think it's called sprained. It's when our wrist gets like over flexible during a fall or a crash, you name it. I was doing judo, for example, and I was like, this guy was trying to throw me and I stepped in and I was like going to counter him. But the sweet guy in me was like, okay, I'm really going to hurt this guy, so let's break his fall. So I would put my hand on the mat and this guy would fall on my wrist and I would eventually also fall onto him. So my wrist got absolutely smashed. Never break someone fall in MMA or any type of fighting. Just let the guy hit the ground. He started a fight with you or accepted a fight with you. So he needs to take on the damage instead of you. How brutal that may sound, or logical. Anyway, sprained wrist, not fun, very painful. Took me 10 weeks in total to like recover, to actually do some floor work again. So I needed to train with parallettes. So first tip on wrist injuries, try to find exercises that don't hurt. If you're doing exercises that hurt, you are stalling your recovery. So don't do that. Find exercises that don't hurt. This has perfect carryover to the forearm exercises that I just mentioned, but our wrist is like one of the most complex joints on our entire body. So we can, they're all like these difficult names that I don't really like. So we're just going to call this movement up. We're going to call this one down. We're going to call this one to the right and to the left. We also have rotation to the right from up, so our weight is up here, and we also have rotation to the left from up here. We also have rotation to the left or right, whatever you want, from down here, and we also have rotation to the right or left with the weight down here. I'm gonna grab a hammer. So right here I have a hammer, and we use this hammer not to hurt someone, but to recover. What we want to do is we want to have this small weight, so this can also be like a very light dumbbell with only one plate on one side. And what we want to do is we want to get through all the range of motion. So this would be up. Then we also, if we hang it like this, this would be down. So you understand how I'm moving my wrist down, but the weight is coming from here. So this is a little bit more heavy. Then we also have to the left, but we do this by rotating. So this would be to the left. And then if we flip it upside down, this would be to the right. Understand? To the right. Then we have the upwards rotation to the right and to the left in one exercise. So that would be quite easy. So that's 2 in 1. And then we also need to flip the hammer and do the exact same, but this time the weight is going from left to right, from a bottom type of weight. What we want to do is we want to have the hammer and we want to get this exercise pain-free. We want to get it completely pain-free, and we also want to do around 30 reps with this. If you have just injured your wrist, what I would recommend is just building it up while doing it body weight. So just with nothing in your hand. Just try to get in the movement, get in the blood flow, and eventually when it does not hurt a lot anymore, we can grab something like a hammer. Don't get like a 2-kilogram fist, just get a light hammer and do the reps. Start with 1 week 10 reps, the second week 20 reps, the third week 30 reps. I'm just naming something for you to like puzzle with. There's not an exact science, but you need to get in the reps. You need to get in the blood flow, and you need to get it stronger again. So if these exercises where you do the wrist movements are not very painful anymore, we need to go back to the floor and we need to build up the strength again. So just a simple exercise is sitting on your knees and just trying to straighten your arms or putting them in front of you, and slowly go and lean over your wrist with your shoulders and try to like push back with your fingertips. So look up the stretch, try to not go into the pain area, but just find that mild discomfort. And when you feel anything in terms of like slight discomfort, that's the point where you already are pushing back. So we want to do this with palms facing down, but we also want to be doing this with palms facing up. So what we do is we literally just flip our hands, and instead of leaning forwards, we're going to slowly be leaning backwards. Okay, we want to get these also towards like 10 reps and get in that blood flow. Once we get a bit stronger, we can slowly build up again with just doing the push-up position. So don't do the actual push-up reps, but just support yourself. Just try to support yourself. And what we can also do eventually is like learn the frog stand again and just get in that pressure. Just slowly build up. But please just don't go too fast with this. Don't go too fast with it, because you will re-injure yourself or make it worse. Try to take it easy, especially if you literally sprained your wrist. Try to take 2 weeks off and slowly start with the hammer or just a bodyweight wrist and build up again. Set out a program, write it down for yourself, and again, take it easy. Be safe. Please be safe. Okay, and that will be all for this video. I want to wish you good luck. Goodbye. Cheers. Ciao.